Hello my dear students, welcome back once again to your online classes. Today we shall discuss the last topics remaining related to greenhouse effect and global warming and their impact on the earth. This is the topics of chapter 2, that is atmosphere. So greenhouse effect, what it is? The greenhouse effect is a natural process in which the earth traps heat. In fact, the Earth's atmosphere traps heat. The heat is trapped because there are various gases that are present in the Earth's atmosphere. Specifically, the greenhouse gases like carbon dioxide, methane and nitrous oxide. It traps heat enormously, and this results in the temperature to rise on this Earth's surface. There are various causes what leads to such rise in the temperature, or what leads to the rise in such heat is because first is burning of fossil fuels. Fossil fuels like coal and petroleum, when they are used continuously or rigorously, they emit the carbon elements in most amount, and these carbon elements, when goes to the atmosphere, it mixes up with some other gases and then forms its oxide, resulting to the trapping of heat later on. Number 2, it's deforestation. Deforestation means cutting of trees. In simple language, whenever we cut trees or we fell trees in large scale, that is considered to be deforestation. And deforestation leads to a very harmful impact, because the trees, which are considered to be very important and integral part of our environment, they give us oxygen which purifies the air. But once the trees are lowered in their numbers, what we see that the carbon elements increases in the atmosphere, leading to increase in temperature. Third, it is increase in population. It is obvious when population increases, there are so many things that comes into demand. For example, we need to build house. To build a house, we need some space, and if the areas are forested, then we clear the forest and then that space is utilized for housing. So this is where population causes a large impact in the increase in temperatures on this earth. Farming, again related to population. If we check on farming means growing of crops, that is agriculture most importantly, what we discuss about. But with farming there are so many other so many things that comes up or is associated with farming. So like fertilizers that are used in the farms in excess causes land pollution, and these very pollution results in increase in the temperature. Same is with the industrial waste and landfills. With landfills we mean, in a simple language, we can consider the dumping areas. But usually in landfills what happens is, it is the earth which is dug out, and those dug out places they start throwing the waste. The waste that are generated by industries or waste that are generated from domestic household. So these waste that have been dumped in the land areas, they generate harmful gases, and these very thing results in increase in the temperature. So now with increase in the temperature, the impact is so huge and large that what we see in this present generation, because of this rise in temperature, climate is changing, or in other words we can say we are on a verge to witness a large scale climate change, that is global warming. The earth's temperature is gradually increasing. This increasing temperature is leading to climate change with lot of effects that is been put onto us or back onto the environment. Now the causes are almost the same as that of greenhouse effect. These very causes leads to global warming, because what we are discussing now is increase in temperature. So temperature definitely increases because of large scale deforestation, burning of fossil fuels, then the landfills and mining in the activities like industrial waste that we talk about, or even overpopulations and fertilizers use. Fertilizers definitely related to farming activities or agriculture. So this is leading to increase in the earth's temperature, or we can say we are on a verge of climate change. Now what do we see with these effects, or the greenhouse effect or global warming? What is we are witnessing? At a larger scale, we are witnessing ozone depletion. Ozone, written as O3, its chemical symbol is O3, is a colorless and odorless gas which is already present in the upper stratosphere of the atmosphere. It is very important in terms of life survival on this earth because it protects us from the harmful rays of the sun. In fact, we call it harmful ultraviolet radiations of the sun, UV rays. So such an important layer which is already present in the atmosphere is under a threat of being depleted. That means it's slowly and gradually vanishing. There are small holes which have been found in the ozone layers. So why is it happening is because of the CFCs, that is chlorofluorocarbon, which is one of the which is one of very harmful pollutants that come from the carbon elements. The chlorofluorocarbons is thinning the layer, or the atmosphere which has the ozone layer is decreasing in its amount. Now what is it causing? It is mostly leading to what? Health issues, severe health issues. We may find that we may find some person, mostly the group like white and fair people, they are affected mostly because of global warming or this ultraviolet radiations, because their skin gets exposed to the sun, and their skin, when gets exposed to the sun, that obviously turns into a darker screen. The fair people are mostly affected, so leading to even skin cancer or even cataracts with mostly the eye problems, and there are long-term health issues related to such problems that is arising now. With the global warming, what is happening? As we discussed, the temperature is increasing, and what is effect? Effect is severe. We see the glaciers are melting. The melting glaciers provides a lot of water to rivers and oceans, and that results in the rise of sea level. And when the sea level rises, the problem comes to us. Problem is what? When the sea level rises, the lower regions gets inundated. That means it gets flooded. So there are lots of problems again with the properties, with life that comes. So these are certain impact of global warming related to melting of glaciers. But apart from that, what do we see? Global warming is affecting our environment. Our environment, which is so beautiful that we see, where life survives. This life is threatened because of global warming. Not just of the humans, but also of the animals and birds and other species of reptiles or insects. All the living organisms are put under threat, or it is so threatful that there are some animals which are on verge of losing them from the earth. Some are already extinct, and some are on the verge of their extinction. This is an impact of global warming. The third one, what we see is temperature, change in season, climate change, heavy precipitation and flooding. Like I said, global warming is what? Increase in temperature. So when temperature increases, it affects all the other elements of weather and climate that plays a very important role. Temperature increases, affects the pressure, then it affects the wind system, and what automatically is affected is the precipitation. So what happens with precipitation? It's obvious we get heavy rainfall. Heavy rainfall means what? This time we get a lot of flooding season. So like you can take an example for now, you can take two of the states in India, Assam and Bihar. Because of this excessive rainfall for these many days, the past days, what is happening there? There are lots of problems going on. Many people are on the roads. They don't even have a roof to have a shelter on. This is what has been affected. Humans, they have been rescued, but what about the animals? They have been affected a lot. So this is where we see the impact of global warming. Now it is not that we cannot stop it or we cannot control it. It is all in our hands, and we can work together to reduce this rising temperature situation on the earth. So what are the methods? What we see is, the first point that I would like to highlight, and the most easiest and the simplest one, is tree plantation. Tree plantation means what? In other words, we can say afforestation or The places which were already a forest but now barren, if we start planting trees there, it is known as reforestation. We all can do this. We celebrate World's Environment Day once in a year and we try planting so many trees. Why not we celebrate such days every year, every month? Why not every week? At least plant a tree a week. What it leads to is, it leads to a better environment where the air is pure and pollution is automatically controlled. We have to reduce pollution. We have to reduce the additions of pollutants in the atmosphere which traps the heat. The other ways what we can do is we can use recyclable products. Those products which we can reuse it again. Like when we discuss about reduction of global warming or ways to reduce global warming, there are 3 R's usually followed: reduce, reuse and recycle. So this is where we need to emphasize on the products that we use, certain products that can be reused again and again rather than disposing them simply will help us curb the global warming. The next is, you see, purchasing energy efficient products. Those products which utilizes less energy or which can help us conserve energy, such things has to be used. For example, I can give you very good examples related to bulbs. Earlier we used to have a bulb with filament, and now most of us, we know that we are using LEDs. So what is here is, there is a difference. This filament used to give more heat and temperature was thereby added in the atmosphere. But these LEDs, though it is very bright, but the energy used is very less. So this is where we can use the energy efficient products. And I still emphasize, most importantly, the easiest method to curb global warming or to reduce global warming is tree plantation. If we plant trees every week or every month, problem will be solved in much larger scale. So I hope this will give you a better understanding, not just of the chapter, but also of the present day situation, what is happening on the earth. You all stay safe and have a good time.